is your June 2016 forecast for the month. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing to my channel and liking these posts and videos. I appreciate your support, and thank you for choosing me to read for you. So, June starts the month off on the 4th with our new moon, and this month is highlighting your communications area, your sector of communications, local travel, relationship with siblings, the third house in astrology. Your new moon is at 14 degrees of Gemini in this sector on the 4th, so it's best to set your intentions on interviews, details, now that Mercury is direct, officially clearing his shadow on June 7th, but I'm giving a green light for June because he went direct at the end of May. So, new local travel or new areas in the neighborhood, neighbors and siblings are highlighted as well. Might be a new batch of people coming into the local area for you. On the 12th, Mercury joins this new moon's energy, even though the moon won't be there by this time. But on the 12th, Mercury enters Gemini, the sign that it governs first on the astrological wheel. So it's a very comfortable placement for this communicative planet. Through the 29th of June, he's stationed here. So it's best to hone in on what needs analysis, attention to detail, review, study, schooling and courses. On the 17th of June, Venus, the planet of love and harmony and governing finances as well, enters Cancer through July 12th. And when Venus is in Cancer, she's very comfortable because the nurturing energy of the sign of Cancer that rules the fourth house for you allows Venus to do what she does best, which is the smoothing over of this area. Everyone getting along in the home, females in the home, Venus governing the females, Aphrodite, the planet of the feminine. This is the fourth house of environment, foundation, and mother. Cancer, the sector that Cancer governs for you has everything to do with the nurturing comforts of the environment. You might be decorating or changing the aesthetic or textures of the home. Venus loves smooth silks and satins and velvets, or not that you need to go with the rich velvets in the middle of summer, but there's something about texture and Venus and the smooth aesthetic. She loves beautiful art as well, art and paintings. So you could be finding some decor in the home or changing the style up as well, which is also Venus. On that same day, there's an aspect I wanted to discuss. On the 17th, Saturn will exactly square Neptune in Pisces. The mutable signs are in a discord throughout the month of June. They're squaring each other. So the mutable signs, there's three types of signs in astrology: mutable, fixed, and cardinal. So the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And this Saturn square in your ninth house of higher education and belief systems, politics, law, it's a large scope, metaphysical areas, even property. Saturn retrograde there, your review there in this ninth house, is squaring the delusion of Neptune in your 12th house of instinct. So, what I suggest on the 17th, if you have a decision to make, if you have a signature to make, it's not a Mercury retrograde, but there is something that you could be missing. Because Neptune wears the rose-colored glasses, and it's a very nebulous, unclear energy, very comfortable in Pisces, Neptune in the 12th house. There's an exact square at 12 degrees, almost exactly midway. Saturn retrograde and the review in Sagittarius of the ninth house. So there could be discord between education and where you need to go for schooling outside of the country. There could be foreign travel and not seeing things clearly about your designation. There could be even deeper, misinformation regarding law and legal cases, things not being seen for what they truly are. So I would suggest holding off on the 17th if you have to finalize things. It's not, I mean, this energy will be affecting the entire month of June, but the exact square is on the 17th between Saturn and Neptune. Now, the other players in the mutable action of the square we're having are Jupiter in Virgo and the Sun and Venus in the sign of Gemini, which is also the mutable sign. So the square is from the 3rd to the 6th to the 9th to the 12th house. And this has to do with the communication style, with the routine and daily regimen. Especially if you are in school, it's the studies in the 3rd house and the higher certifications of the 9th house. But your instinct is wrapped up in this, the 12th house, and the house of endings, the house of the undoing. I wouldn't want you to make too many drastic changes in the mid-month of June. Wait for some of this discord to pass. If there's an uncomfortable feeling about having to make decisions mid-month of June, the full moon following 3 days later on the 20th at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. This is our second Sagittarian full moon. It was at the 1st degree last month, and it made it into the 29th degree just before changing signs. So the full moon, typically in June, Gemini's polar opposite sign of Sagittarius, is in the 9th house. So you're coming back from travel, you're finishing the studies, you're getting your higher certification and degrees, or you're ending a practice in the metaphysical realm. Maybe you're ending some training. This could have a lot to do with any studies with acupuncture, Reiki. I'm thinking metaphysical and spiritual mixed together. The full moon could see a completion in these areas, or if you were doing this for the betterment of your body, perhaps this has come to a close. Returning from foreign travel, I said that. On the 20th as well, the sun enters Cancer. So, and that's unique. The sun usually enters Cancer on the 21st. It's a little bit off schedule, a little bit earlier this month. So the sun entering Cancer is that home environment. A lot of Arians want to be in the comfort of their environment, where they feel most nurtured in the 4th house. And the sun in this sector through July 21 is creating a better environment for you. I'm getting that Aries might want to be, due to some uncomfortability, if that's a word, discomfort, due to being uncomfortable, you might switch up the environment. You might need more space, is what I'm feeling. You might need to stretch out. You need some space in the environment. You are looking for a new location, possibly in the beginning of summer. On the 26th of June, Jupiter, stationed in Virgo in your 6th house, is trining Pluto in Capricorn in the 10th house. So this is a lot of energy positive at 16 degrees, a lot of energy regarding work. And trines are the opposite of squares. They are harmonious. They're filtering the best energy from Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in the work sector. Arians are expanding the routine of the day-to-day structure. And the health is magnificent with Jupiter in the 6th, but watch the weight gain. Jupiter does expand the body. I know I've mentioned that to you before. Trining Pluto. So the Earth trine between those two is expanding the career sector. Some of you are seeing retirement if you're at that age point with Jupiter trining Pluto, the intensity of wanting things to come to an ending, which is Pluto, the end in the career. But I love that day, the 26th, I would mark on the calendar for possibly even expansion or promotion around that time. On the 29th of June, Mars finally goes direct. We like that. Mars is energy. That's the stamina we need moving forward. He's direct at 23 degrees of Scorpio in your 8th house. The 8th house of other people's money and shared resources. So now that Mars is direct there, any investments or partnerships, well, partnerships is the seventh house, but shared resources, relationships where your money is filtered in together, this can move forward again. There might have been a pause or a hold on earnings with other people or investors at that time. But Mars direct, we like this at the very end of the month. And on the last day, since the moon transits into Taurus, it activates a grand trine of Earth. So when Jupiter and Pluto are in play and the moon enters into Taurus, it's the grand Earth trine, a lot of stability on the last day of June. Trining, filtering positive energy into those work sectors with the addition of Taurus, the second house of possessions and income and self-value. I feel a lot of Arians might be fixing up the home because you're given some increase in the money sector in the second, sixth, and 10th house. By the very last day, I think your promotional time could run strongly between the 26th of June and the 30th of June. I'm using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place. I love this deck. If you're new to watching this channel, thank you for joining me. And you'll see this deck a lot in my readings. Robert M. Place is the illustrator. And this deck incorporates the astrology and the tarot together. A lot of scientific symbols, alchemical symbols, which I'm very much into. But we'll see what comes up for you, Aries, in your tarot taster here. And if you'd like to read with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. This is what I do for a living. I read all through the week. Aries. What is in store for Aries for June 2016? Here are your cards. The Four of Swords, the thinker, the sage, meditation, deep in thought, reflective, at rest. The Queen of Cups, water sign female, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and it's also your intuition, the 12th house, where Neptune is stationed for you. Let's see what else. Queen of Fire, Queen of Staves or Wands, whatever you prefer. Now this is a fire sign female, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Also very independent, very creative female energy. Two of Coins, the shared resources energy, opportunity, budgeting, getting rid of some possessions, what is serving you versus not serving you. You have a few cards. Ooh, and the Two of Cups. This could be what you're dividing from relationship, the shared resources sector. I mentioned that now that Mars is direct in the 8th house. The relationship monies, the two people, the sun and the moon, the male and the female, masculine and feminine. The moon being female, I'm getting the dichotomy of the two people and the monies coming together. You're going through transformation of money, promotion, the obelisk, stages of increase to the sun, to the coin on top. So what I gather from this, the retrograde and the pauses that we've had, the retrograde of Mercury in particular, because Mercury governs the swords, the wind, the air, which are the swords in the tarot. You had time to review, you had time to discern where you were headed in relationship and in career, Aries. Now this is you, this represents you in the reading, and this represents, I believe, your intuition. Your own particular Queen of Cups within you or King of Cups within you. Your own guidance to discern your relationship and the money within your relationships. Now, some of you might have split up and divorce or separation, and there's the divvying of your personal belongings, values, possessions, second house of astrology. But you're going through changes here financially, so a message to you is once you are done splitting your money and dividing your money, don't think that is all you end up with. You're still growing, you're still manifesting, you're still allowing for change and growth, promotional growth. There could also be two women assisting you in business if it's going to be very direct. I still think this is a form of your own self, Aries. You know, everyone has an intuitive side. Whether they choose to hone in on it and use it often it's totally up to you. Everyone has free will. But I do believe there is the two of cups and the two of coins, there's a mirror to them, and the image that I'm getting is almost that these two are on top of each other. So you're either, and this is not, the two of coins is usually the separating of money, not the combining, the divvying, and the obstacle, the opposition. And the lion and the eagle, that could be the Leo and the Scorpio. The Scorpio also has another animal other than the scorpion, which is the eagle in astrology. So, and they're fixed signs. Oh, I understand. Okay, I have a message. The opposite of the mutable signs are the fixed signs. You're a cardinal sign, Aries, but the image I'm getting is that don't claw or hold on too much to this money. If you want it to grow, release some of it. Not everything needs its grip, you holding on to it. You might have to let some of this money go in order for new money and replenishment to come in. That is my message for you, Aries, and that is Spirit's message for you, actually. I'm the messenger. I'm translator. I'm so happy that you were here to join me. I'm wishing you a beautiful June, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.